the governor of our state can settle down to the serious business of government.
Election of Governor Boyega Oyetola of Osun State. President Buhari assents to 3 bills passed by the National Assembly.
Nigeria being a big player on the African continent, whatever decisions they take is a decision that will reverberate across the continent.
Plus, new lease of life for Africa with Nigeria's endorsement of the Continental Free Trade Agreement as 12th ordinary session of Free Trade Initiative holds in Niamey, Niger Republic. Good evening and welcome to the Network News on the NTA. I am Juma Yusuf. Reading with me tonight from Lagos is Jennifer Igwe. The Supreme Court of Nigeria has upheld the election of Boyega Oyetola of the All Progressives Congress as the governor of Osun State. The court, in a majority decision of 5-2 justices, dismissed by a split decision the appeal filed by People's Democratic Party's Ademola Adeleke against the election of Oyetola. Judiciary correspondent Femi Okeyu reports.
The judgment of the 7 members led by the acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Ibrahim Tanko Mohammed, affirmed the election of Boyega Oyetola as the governor of Osun State following the September 2018. The judgment of the Apex Court on all the 4 appeals followed the same pattern, and this has been the trend of the case from the tribunal to the Supreme Court. 5 justices of the Apex Court affirmed the majority judgment of the Court of Appeal, which was delivered on the 9th of May. 2 others differed. The lead majority judgment was delivered by Justice Bode Rhodes-Vival, with Justices Muhammad Kudirat Kekereekun, Amiru Sanusi, and Uwane Abba Aji consenting, while Justices Kume Akas and Paul Galinje dissented.
On our part, we're happy. We thank God for this victory. Now the governor of our state can settle down to the serious business of government.
My majority decision, aside from the issue of technicality, went straight into the merit of the case, and they said that the appellant has fulfilled constitutional requirement on the 22nd of September when the election was first conducted.
This judgment effectively ends the 2018 governorship election of Osun State. In Abuja, Femi Okeowo, NTA News.
In the meantime, President Muhammadu Buhari has sent a congratulatory message to Governor Boyega Oyetola of Osun State on the Supreme Court ruling, which affirmed his victory in the September 2018 state governorship election. The Supreme Court decision, according to the president, lays to rest the tussle over the governorship election and removes all encumbrances on the part of the governor from fully delivering the gains of democracy to the people of the state. In a statement by the Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, the president commends the government and people of Osun for allowing the rule of law to run its entire course. He therefore urges Governor Oyetola and the ruling All Progressives Congress to be magnanimous in victory and make concrete moves towards inclusive governance. Following the Supreme Court judgment, the Osun State Governor Boyega Oyetola is calling on the people of the state to remain calm and peaceful. He says the judgment is victory for the people. Correspondent Femi Afariagun reports.
Triumphantly, Governor Oyetola moved around major streets in Osogbo, the Osun State capital, thanking the people for their show of love. Traffic was at a standstill as supporters of the APC joined the governor's procession chanting victory songs. The governor has dedicated the Supreme Court judgment to the people of the state.
I feel a crowd that believes that the judiciary has done the best in terms of reaffirming the mandates they gave to me. I will continue to dedicate myself to the service of the people. The love they have shown clearly demonstrates the fact that I must put in more effort to ensure that I give them the dividend of democracy.
He is, however, extending hands of friendship to the People's Democratic Party to build a viable state for the people. In Oshogbo, Femi Afariogun, NTA News.
Reactions continue to trail the Supreme Court ruling on the Osun State governorship election. Elizabeth Omori compiles these reactions.
Congress, APC welcomed the ruling of the Supreme Court, affirming the election of Gboyega Oyetola as the governor of Osun State. National Publicity Secretary Larry Issa Onilu will cement the majority status of progressive governors in the country. The party congratulates Governor Oyetola, the people of Osun State, and the state APC for successfully defending its legitimate mandate. In the same vein, the President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawan, congratulated the governor over his victory at the Supreme Court, urging him to be magnanimous in victory and run an all-inclusive government for the good of the state. The statement by his special assistant on media and publicity describes the judgment as victory for democracy. The PDP has similarly reacted to the judgment, urging its supporters to remain calm and united and not to lose hope in the nation's democratic process. A statement by its National Publicity Secretary, however, raised eyebrows over the basis upon which the judgment was made. In the meantime, the presidency has faulted the statement credited to the special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Femi Adesina. Asking the judiciary to take the pulse of the nation and reflect on it is an attempt to browbeat the judiciary and encouraging it to entertain sentiments in the ongoing petition before the Presidential Election Petition Court. Femi Adesina says the president remains committed to even-handedness and justice always. In Abuja, Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
The National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party has suspended the House of Representatives Minority Leader Ndudi Ilemolu and 6 orders for 1 month. National Publicity Secretary of the party, Kola Olagbodiyan, disclosed this at a media briefing in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf reports.
Our Publicity Secretary says the resolution to suspend the House Minority Leader, Ndudi Ilemolu, and 6 others was based on issues surrounding the emergence of the minority leadership in the House, pointing out that their conduct border on indiscipline, insubordination and disobedience of party directives, contrary to Section 58 of the PDP Constitution.
And this matter is hereby referred to the National Disciplinary Committee of our party, in keeping in line with Section 57(3) of the PDP Constitution.
Meanwhile, a statement from the House Minority Leader Ndudi Ilemolu expresses shock that the NWC of the PDP can sit and take a decision without giving room for fair hearing. Another suspended House member, Wale Oke, in a similar statement says it's unfortunate if their party could suspend its most loyal members for toeing the path of honor and constitutionalism. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
The Presidential Elections Petitions Court has admitted in evidence the certified true copies of documents obtained from the Independent National Electoral Commission by the People's Democratic Party and its candidate Atiku Abubakar regarding the conduct of the February 23rd presidential election. The petitioners in this matter through their counsel have so far tendered documents relating to the election in 7 states. Dele Atumbi reports.
The resumed sitting of the Presidential Election Petitions Court this Friday counsel to the PDP and its candidate Atiku Abubakar, Libi Uzoku, SAN told the court of their intention to review the process of tendering their documents from local government to state by state to fast-track the process. Before this request, the PDP and its candidate have tendered documents for Niger and Yobe states. This request was not objected to by the counsel to the respondents, which are the Independent National Electoral Commission, President Muhammadu Buhari, and the All Progressives Congress. So far, the PDP and its candidate have tendered documents concerning the presidential election for 10 states. The states are Niger, Yobe, Katsina, Kebbi, Borno, Jigawa, Gombe, Bauchi, Kaduna, and Kano. The documents tendered are from EC8C, EC8B, and EC8A, as well as the receipts for the certification of the documents. However, the petitioners did not tender any Form EC8C for Bauchi State and promised to tender the remaining documents for Kano State at the adjourned date. Counsel to the Independent National Electoral Commission, Ustaz Usman SAN, objected to the admissibility of the documents. Counsel to President Muhammadu Buhari, Mike Ibokwe SAN, and APC Charles Edoson SAN also objected to the admissibility of all the documents tendered by the petitioners, with the attachments which the counsel described as containing editorial judgments by the petitioners. Counsel to the respondents, however, said they will adduce reasons for their objections in their written final addresses. The PDP and its candidate have 10 days to call their witnesses, as agreed by all the council in the matter, while the respondents have 6 days each to call their witnesses. Counsel to the petitioners, Livy Uzoku SAN, had informed the court that the petitioners intended to call 400 witnesses in the matter. After the petitioners were through with the tendering of documents slated for this Friday, their counsel, Livy Uzoku SAN, applied for adjournment, which counsel to the respondents did not object. The 5-man presidential election petitions court led by Justice Mohamed Gaba adjourned to Monday, July 8, 2019 for continuation of hearing of the PDP petition. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
Away from the judiciary, President Muhammadu Buhari has assented to 3 bills passed by the National Assembly. They are the Federal Capital Territory Appropriation Act 2019, Federal Polytechnic Kaltungo Gombe State Establishment Act 2019, and the Federal Polytechnic Daura Katsina State Establishment Act 2019. Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Assembly Matters in the Senate, Ita Enang, comments further on the acts.
The bill provides for a total of 243 billion naira for expenditure by the Federal Capital Territory, and out of that, 130 billion is for capital expenditure, while the balance is for recurrent expenditure and sundries. This sum is in addition to the 23 billion naira which was provided for the capital expenditure of the Federal Capital Territory in the 2019 national budget, that is the 2019 appropriation law of the country, which Mr. President assented to on the 27th of May, 2019.
The Senior Special Assistant to the President explained that the laws establishing the named polytechnics is in standard with the laws establishing all other federal polytechnics in Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the reappointment of Boss Mustafa as Secretary to the Government of the Federation and Malam Abba Kyari as Chief of Staff to the President. The Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, comments.
The President has approved the reappointment of Boss Mustafa as the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, effective from May 29 this year. He has also approved the reappointment of Malam Abba Kyari as Chief of Staff to the President, again effective from May 29 this year.
The All Progressives Congress commends President Muhammadu Buhari over his reappointment of Malam Abba Kyari and Mr. Boss Mustafa as his Chief of Staff and Secretary to the Government of the Federation, respectively. The party, in a statement by its National Publicity Secretary, Lanre Issa Onyilo, says the reappointment formally reiterates the determination of President Buhari to step up on the next level agenda. The APC notes with satisfaction the reaffirmation of the President's confidence in the duo. The National Executive Council of the Nigerian Labour Congress, on behalf of Nigerian workers, congratulates Boss Mustafa and Abba Kyari for their reappointment as the Secretary to the Government of the Federation and Chief of Staff to the President, respectively. A statement by the NLC President, Comrade Ayuba Waba, says, in the past 4 years, NLC have had a good working relationship with Kyari and Mustafa in fast-tracking resolutions of critical labour issues in the country, particularly during the negotiation for the national minimum wage. It further says NLC has no doubt that the country has benefited and will continue to benefit more from their commitment to the successes of the present administration and the progress of the entire country. Ayuba Waba therefore commended President Muhammadu Buhari for their reappointment. Still with the presidency, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the appointment of 11 personal staff. In a statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President of Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, the new appointees are Mohammed Sarki Abba, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Household and Social Events; Ya'u Shehu Darazo, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Special Duties; and Dr. Shoaib Sanusi Rafindati, Personal Physician to the President. Also appointed as the State Chief of Protocol is Ambassador Lawal El Kazauri. Sabiu Yusuf is the Special Assistant Office of the President, while Suli Yuguda is the Special Assistant on Housekeeping. Others are Ahmed Mohammed Mayo, Special Assistant on Finance Administration; Mohammed Hamis Usani, Special Assistant on Special Duties; Friday Bethel, Personal Assistant General Duties; Sunday Agazi remains State House Photographer, while Bayo Omorio Wo is the presidential photographer. The above appointment takes effect from May 29, 2019. This is the Network News on NTA, live in Abuja. Let's take a break now. The news continues shortly.
Enjoy the best of African football as NTA, Africa's largest television network and hotspots, Nigeria's foremost sports production and marketing company, bring you all 52 matches of the Africa Cup of Nations, Egypt 2019 live from June 21 to July 19, 2019. Yes, all 52 games will hit your screens in crystal clear digital quality. It's your guarantee of a memorable viewing experience and a wonderful cost-effective opportunity for corporate Nigeria to reach tens of millions of Nigerians. For sponsorship and commercial support, contact Abubakar on 0803-331-0175 and Felix on 0803-308-2375. Hot Sports, masters of the game. NTA, you can't beat the reach. Follow!
Kitty. He doesn't want overripe things. Dudu by nature. Black is beautiful. Oh, talk to the hand. The baby is black. Ask her. Uche, quickly send me the baby video.
Okay, ma.
Yeah, he's playing. Oh, my goodness. He's loving it. Oh, thank you. You're welcome. Bye.
Data is oxygen. Glow 4G, the new speed of life. Your #1 4G network nationwide. The very best from Glow, the grandmasters of data.
Our country is filled with people with different skills. And like the game football, we all have a position to play. Some are in charge of protection. They keep the line safe from attackers. They are the defenders. To win, we must come together as one team. We must play as Nigeria united.
Team huddle.
But we lost.
Don't be tired, guys. This isn't a loss. It's a practice for winning.
Nothing makes a mother prouder than seeing her child growing up. But I know as he learns to lead, he'll face even more dirt, germs, and risk of illness.
That's why in changing seasons, you need strong Dettol protection. Because Dettol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Growing up needs Dettol protection.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous, whether you do it for fun or for political gains. Real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA.
The Apostolic Church Nigeria, Abuja FCT area, Launa territory, under the leadership of Pastor Dr. L.O. Oladele, Abuja FCT area superintendent, presents 21st Area Annual Convention. Theme, Believers' Disposition to the Grace of God. Date, Friday 5th to Sunday 7th July 2019. Venue, the Apostolic Church Nigeria, Abuja FCT Area Headquarters, Plot 494, Durumi District, Gariki, Abuja. Time, Friday 4 p.m., Saturday and Sunday 9 a.m. respectively. Pastor E. Ola Akerele, Convention Committee Chairman. Announcer.
Welcome back. President Muhammadu Buhari departs Abuja Saturday for Niamey, Niger Republic, to attend the African Union Summit scheduled to hold on July 7th. A statement by Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, says the President will participate in the 12th extraordinary session of the Assembly of the Union on African Continental Free Trade Area and the first media coordination meeting of the AU and the regional economic communities in Niamey. The extraordinary session of the Assembly of the Union is expected to launch the operational instruments of the agreement establishing prior to the summit. The Buhari administration had embarked on extensive consultation with stakeholders, culminating in the submission of the report by the Presidential Committee to assess impact and readiness of Nigeria to join the AFTA. The committee had recommended that Nigeria should sign the agreement, which aims to boost intra-African trade. President Buhari will sign the AFTA agreement on the margins of the AU meeting in Niamey. President Buhari will be accompanied to Niamey by the First Lady, Mrs. Aisha Buhari, Governors Babagana Umara Zulum, Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, and Aminu Bello Masari of Borno, Kebbi, and Katsina State, respectively, among other top government officials. There is excitement over Nigeria's decision to finally endorse the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement at the first coordination meeting of the regional economic blocs and 12th ordinary session of the Free Trade Initiative holding in Niamey, Niger Republic. Correspondent Makut Salman Macham reports.
The excitement over Nigeria's imminent ratification of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement is understood from its standing as an economic and political giant on the continent. This is why the African Union is bringing for the first time the 8 regional economic blocs on the continent to work out how the free trade agreement will be facilitated for rapid economic integration. 13 heads of states are also meeting at this summit to examine the grey areas of the initiative, but by far, Nigeria's decision to endorse the trade agreement is the biggest news at this meeting.
There is a general excitement about Nigeria's accepting to sign the agreement, and of course, Nigeria being a big player on the African continent, whatever decisions they take is a decision that will reverberate across the continent. Now, signing the Continental Free Trade Agreement by Nigeria is a big boost to the entire agreement, because that means that you are taking on board this large population, this large market, these large prospects of economic prosperity.
At a press briefing, the African Union Commissioner for Economic Affairs, Victor Harrison, cited the level of integration attained by ECOWAS under Nigeria's leadership as one that can be used as a model to actualize the African Continental Free Trade Area.
In pushing for the ratification of the African Free Trade Agreement area, the African continent is very much aware of the need to dot all the I's and cross all the T's to ensure that this agreement becomes a blessing and not a curse to the continent. This is because its production base is still very low, while its import volume is very high. From Niamey in Niger, Makut Simon Macham, NTA News.
Now, as Nigeria joins the list of countries that have signed up to participate in the African Free Trade Zones, questions are being raised on its preparedness to compete with other nations. This also takes into cognizance the economic shocks due to swings in oil prices, which have been a constant feature of the Nigerian economy. This formed the major focus when Nigeria President Muhammadu Buhari gave audience to the Executive Director of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, Olusegun Awolowo, at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
The meeting was for an update on Nigerians' plans for life after crude oil, which all along has been the administration's concern and reason for setting out to diversify Nigerians' export basket and create new sources of foreign exchange by developing the Zero Oil Plan, which is a core component of the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan. As Olusegun Awolowo, Executive Director of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, says, we must be ready for this eventuality and build an economy that works with or without crude oil.
We should not rest on our oars because those days of $140 on oil is gone forever. So we have to look inwards and produce more. The Zero Oil Plan is about raising production and productivity. We identified 22 sectors where Nigeria can earn foreign exchange out of oil. We're hoping in the next 10 to 15 years, we're able to raise revenue, $150 billion from sources outside the oil. This is a government that is doing more with less revenue.
Also, the president gave audience to the governor of Gombe State, Inwa Yahaya, and that of Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi.
Being in the same team with Mr. President will give him all the support to deliver on the mandate, be it in rains or in sunshine.
Certain recruitments are going on now, particularly with regards to the police. But we feel, in our humble opinion, that 10,000 men and women are not enough to add to the police in tackling the dearth of security agents in the country, that we would have to figure out a way to increase that number, either out of the end power cadets who are coming to the end of their service here, having spent 2 years, or youth service, corps members, or any of the other institutions that would enable us to boost the manpower of the Nigerian police force.
Jide Onifade, NTA News.
Nothing on teleprompter. Coming up tonight at 11 p.m. immediately after the network news is a documentary on Nigeria's signatory of the African Continental Free Trade Area. All NTA stations are advised to stay on the network service for the broadcast. Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo has stressed the importance of human capital development in all sectors of the economy, stating that Nigeria's growth potential depends largely on collective productivity. The Vice President was speaking at the 40th anniversary of Uni-Ife Economic Class of 1979, held in Lagos. Ruth Ario Samuel reports.
Re-echoing the need to ensure quality education from the foundation, the Vice President highlighted steps through which this will be achieved, stressing the need for girl-child education and a push for science, technology, engineering, arts and maths, STEM, and quality teacher education.
We are more focused on achieving the educational outcomes specified in the Sustainable Development Goals, such that we can meet the targets for school enrollment, which is very important, quality of education, adult literacy, and the quality of teaching. And the target is 2030.
Presenting a paper on sustainable alternative model for funding public universities, an education consultant and former World Bank staff, Chinedum Nwoko, suggested that a tripartite model, which will involve parents, students, and government, remain the best option.
Allow universities have the autonomy.
Propose a method of channeling public allocation
allocations to universities that focuses on the beneficiaries of education service rather than the institutions.
The 40th Anniversary Reunion Symposium with theme Alternative Approach to Financing Public University Education for Effective Human Capacity Development in Nigeria is expected to be compiled for presentation to the President and the Ministry of Education towards preferring solutions to the challenges of tertiary education in Nigeria. In Lagos, Ruth Ario Samuel, NTA News.
Residents of Gajiram, headquarters of Ganze local government area of Borno State, have been warned not to harbor individuals with dubious character, but report such to the appropriate authorities. This came up when Governor Babagana Umar Zulum visited the area to address humanitarian challenges posed by insurgency. Mohammed Goni reports.
Gajiram, the headquarters of Ganze local government, has its fair share of security challenges in recent times. These include the closure of Maiduguri, Nganze-Mongono Road, which crippled socio-economic activities in the area, with heavy-duty vehicles conveying goods stranded along the road for days, causing shortage of essential commodities. The plight of the people was further compounded by restriction of movement within the township imposed as a security measure, resulting in near humanitarian crisis until the timely intervention by the Borno State Governor, Professor Babagana Umara, who held a closed-door meeting with security operatives and community leaders on arrival at Gajiram town. Addressing the residents at the end of the meeting, Governor Babagana Umara sympathized with them over the humanitarian challenges, saying the authorities have resolved to relax the restriction of movement within the township to enable them go about their normal activities. He added that government is poised to protecting lives and property and the provision of basic amenities of lives, charging them to always be security conscious. The governor added that SEMA officials will provide them with some of their immediate needs to alleviate their sufferings and further enjoin them to be prayerful at all times. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Goni, NTA News.
Following a brief on incidents that triggered violence and loss of lives in Katsina State on Wednesday, President Muhammadu Buhari has directed immediate reinforcement of the security architecture in the state and prosecution of all those involved in the conflict. In a statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, the President warned headsmen and communities to stop taking the law into their hands by resorting to violence at every provocation, adding that the headsmen returning to the south due to rainy season must respect the boundaries of farmers and villagers, while the communities must refrain from attacking headsmen. The president had, however, directed all security outfits in the state and in all parts of the country to work towards preventive measures rather than reactionary. Jennifer is in Lagos. She has an update on Ijegun fire explosion and on another report. Hello, Jennifer.
Thank you, Jumai, and welcome to Lagos. Residents of Ijegun are still in shock over Thursday's fire incident, even as normalcy is gradually returning to the area. Paul Omukago reports that inhabitants are appealing to the authorities to effectively monitor and protect the pipeline tracks to avoid a recurrence.
The fire was eventually put out by officials of Lagos State Fire Service and other agencies at 4:40 p.m. after about 12 hours of intensive firefighting. The victims with varying degree of burns are currently receiving treatment at Lagos State University Teaching Hospital and Bagada General Hospital. Some children who were also affected are among those receiving treatment.
We rescued 12 people. 4 were taken through lawsuit. I've got in touch with the CMD of lawsuit, and he assured me that they are receiving adequate treatment. Also, 8 were evacuated to Bonds unit at Bagada. However, I sympathize with the families that lost their beloved one in here. We recovered 2 bodies, and those 2 bodies were deposited at Yaba mortuary.
In the list of victims released, some members of the same family were affected. These probably could be those in some affected buses in the vicinity. The fire started at about 2 a.m. as a result of pipeline vandals siphoning fuel into tankers. In Lagos, Paulo Mukago, NTA News.
Tecno has added an upgrade to its range of digital devices with the launch of the Tecno Phantom 9, an innovation aimed at giving customers a broader smartphone experience. Hingino John Adams, who was at the launch in Lagos, now reports.
That signals the official launch of the long-awaited addition to the Tecno Phantom smartphone series, Phantom 9. Its features are a reflection of Tecno's commitment to transforming state-of-the-art technologies into localized products under the guideline of Think Globally, Act Locally. Tecno Phantom 9 is designed for the pleasure of users with exciting features like an artificial intelligence triple camera which has 16 megapixel, 2 megapixel, 8 megapixel and 120-degree main camera that makes wide-angle photography possible.
We have a lot of features can make this stand out, such as a fast octa-core, which is 2.35 gigahertz.
When people looking at the appearance of the Phantom 9, people will fall in love with the Lapland Aurora design.
Other unique features of the device are in-display fingerprint, 6 GB RAM, 128 GB memory space, a battery that lasts a full day on single charge, as well as a drop screen dual front flashlight, which helps users take shots at night or in low light conditions.
We have a software HIOS 5.0 that helps consumers to use different features at their disposal. For instance, there's the automatic detection of modes.
Established in 2006, Tecno has presence in more than 50 countries across the globe. In Lagos, Hingino John Adams, NTA News.
This is NTA Network News. More reports with Jumai in Abuja.